Now we cross over to Kisumu County, where Farmers Field Day event is underway. The event is organized by both the county and national government, and it is aimed at sensitizing farmers on new trends and initiatives in the farming sector and diversification of crop production, the potential of Muhoroni as far as farming is concerned. Now we join our reporter Wycliffe Okech for more details. Wycliffe, if you can hear me, kindly bring us up to date.
Well, thank you so much, Jacqueline Wambiru, back in Nairobi. I can hear you pretty well. We are in Muhoroni sub-county here in Kisumu County. Like you rightly put it, today is a field day for the farmers from this region. Actually, this field day follows the release or rather the unveiling of the sugar sector report yesterday, where an event that was that was graced by the Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture, Peter Munya. And actually, Peter Munya himself is here today, actually gracing this this event again. He is accompanied by the county governor, that is Professor Peter Nyong'o. And during the launch of the report yesterday, something that was noted is now that the sugar payment for farmers will be done according to the sucrose content of their produce and not the weight as it has been the norm. And based on that, there is need for the farmers to be sensitized on the new methods and farming trends that can enable them actually to improve on their produce. But before we get to the gist here, of course, the CS is already here, but then before we go to the speeches and all that, let me just engage one of the stakeholders in the farming sector here to share with us what really ails the sugar sector, rather the agricultural sector in Kisumu, and what can be done to avert the situation. And at this point, I'm going to bring on board Mr. Joel Tanui, who is actually the regional manager for the that is in charge National Irrigation Authority. Mr. Joel, welcome to KBC Channel 1, our lunchtime bulletin. And if you just can introduce yourself and maybe tell us, as the regional manager, what are some of the activities, the ongoing activities of the authority, maybe in brief?
Okay. Thank you so much, and my name is Joel Tanui, the Regional Manager, National Irrigation Authority, and today we are glad to be here in the field day together with the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture, so that we can be able to showcase what the government is doing in terms of food security within Kisumu County. Kisumu County, as you know, is one of the highest potential areas for food as a food basket, whereby we have rice as one of the major crops, together with sugar and other crops. So the National Irrigation Authority is here today to showcase how much they have done in terms of irrigation development in this county. In Kisumu County alone, we have now more than 16,000 acres under irrigation, contributing directly to the food basket in terms of rice production and other crops in the region. So basically, the farmers here are now able to learn about the latest technologies in terms of irrigation. We are also here to showcase the issue of food security in terms of other crops, like growing of avocado, macadamia, mangoes, which has not been the tradition of the region, but it is a new area where we are telling the farmers to diversify to ensure that we all meet the Big Four agenda of the president.
That's very right. Actually, you've gotten to the question I wanted to ask next. When we talk about crop diversification, this is a region that is known for its sugar farming. What other crops that can maybe our farmers can engage into, maybe to increase their produce?
Yes, thank you. You've seen that this region, particularly the entire Kisumu or Lake Victoria belt, has very good weather, very good soils, and abundant water supply for agricultural production. So what we are looking at is, apart from sugar, we are now encouraging the farmers in the region to venture into rice competitively. Some are venturing into maize, and of late, majority of the farmers are now going into commercial sorghum production to be able to supply our newly opened industries, beer making industry in Kisumu. We are also looking at legumes and cereals because of the high demand for raw materials for the upcoming industries in the region. So you do realize that majority of the farmers now are moving from just only sugar sector oriented to cereal oriented region, and therefore we are here to support them with irrigation facilities, irrigation services, so that they can be able to double issues to do with production and be able to diversify.
Yesterday there was a report that was launched by the sugar sector that now sugarcane farmers will be compensated based on the sucrose content of their produce and not the weight. According to you, what really informed that decision, and what really can the farmers do maybe to improve on the produce?
Thank you. It is a welcome decision, or it's a welcome policy, so that farmers are paid based on the quality. This therefore encourages farmers to produce quality cane, and this now throws the ball back to us in terms of ensuring the sugarcane farmers in the region actually grow sugarcane using the right agronomic practices, using the latest technologies, so that they can meet the market demand. Currently, the agricultural market is demand-driven in terms of quality. So the sugarcane is based on quality. So if you can be able to supply industries with high quality sucrose content from the sugar industries, then it means you can be able to fetch a higher price. So the farmers, first of all, will be able to have a higher price based on the sucrose content, and therefore we'll be able to sell our sugarcane competitively in the market.
Thank you so much, Mr. Joel. Jackie, like you've heard it right from Mr. Joel, Mr. Joel actually is the regional manager for the National Irrigation Authority, talking to us about the crop diversification concept, and he's saying that the authority is actually organizing sensitization forums for the local farmers here to be taught and maybe told about the new trends in farming so that they can improve on the quality of their produce. Well, like I've told you before, the CS Munya and the County Governor, Professor Nyang'nyong'o, have already arrived here, and they've been taken across, just to the various stands here that have been where they're being shown about the new technologies that the farmers are engaging actually to improve on their produce. This is something we are monitoring, and more details of this will compile them comprehensively in our subsequent bulletins. Jackie, it's back to you so that we can continue with the bulletin.